Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Patrick with PJRC Recovery. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We would really, truly appreciate it. Also, go check out our other channels, PJRC Top Speed. That is where we do all our racing and speed runs on that channel. This channel is basically crawler footage. We do recoveries and just crawler stuff, Also check out my mechanic channel, my DIY shade tree mechanic channel. It is Mr. Call Your Mechanic. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We would truly appreciate that as well. That's PJRC Top Speed and Mr. Call Your Mechanic. Check those channels out. And also subscribe to this channel, PJRC Recovery. Alright guys, as you see in front of me, I have the #1 recovery truck on the channel. And I had a bright idea of going with some taller shocks on the rear. Just so I would have some play, a little wiggle room when I have weight on the back. It would go down, but maybe not squat too far down. And I went with shorter shocks in the front. Well, needless to say, that really kind of messed this whole project up on this truck. So let me take the body off here, just held on by some magnets. Pull it. So my issue was when I put the taller shocks on, which I've taken them off now, but the taller shocks ended up binding my drive shaft here, binding this drive shaft. And so, well, initially what happened was when I put the what happened when I put those taller shocks on with this current short drive shaft, the sleeve wouldn't stay on to the shaft, and it would just slide off, and I would only have 4-wheel drive, not 6-wheel drive. And so I went and got a length just a little bit longer than this, and when I did that, the taller shocks actually binded the drive shaft here. So yeah, that was the issue. So the rear wheels would not move at all, and with the rear wheels not moving, the truck was not moving. So I ended up going back with the shorter drive shaft, but still had the issue of the sleeve coming disconnected off the shaft, and like I said, only having 4-wheel drive and shaft just slapping back here. So I decided to go back with the stock shocks, but still had an issue with the longer shaft. I put the stock shocks back on with the longer shaft, and it still was binding. And so I ended up deciding, I said, you know what, let me just try something. So I did go back with the shorter shaft, but on top of that, with these stock shocks here, I'm running them without the springs. And yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea, but what I will say is I'm not having any binding issues, as you can see. It's rolling freely. And with the front shocks being, I think these are 80 millimeter shocks in the front. So these are 80 millimeters, and so they don't have a lot of travel up or down. So even if I put a lot of weight on the back end, this front end won't go up off the ground. Shouldn't go off the ground. I mean, they don't have very much room to go up. So I do have this brass servo mount, but I also have some brass on the front axle here as well. As you can see, I do have brass in the front, and it gives it a little weight. I mean, it's a nice, some nice weight to it. Back here, I do have brass and on the front axles, and that's it. And then and I think actually my second axle is actually a metal axle. It has a metal case, and the front axle and the rear axle are plastic. It has plastic housings as well as plastic housing on the rear axle, plastic housing on the front axle, metal axle on the second. So hopefully this will work out for me. Like I said, I haven't tested it yet since I've put everything back together. I do have some other shocks I'm thinking about trying out, but until then I'm gonna try these shocks without the springs. Now they do have oil in them, and so that's why I feel like they should work out. So we'll find out. So again, this is the #1 recovery truck. This is the beast that I built. Like I said, it was 4-wheel drive. Added a third axle on it with an extension frame, and it is brushless. This is a, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 2300 kV brushless motor with an 80 amp ESC. This is the SC8 ready to run hobby wing. And so this thing, when I'm saying it has a lot of torque, it has a lot of torque, a lot of power. And for a 2300 kV motor, it gives this crawl a little punch. It has a little punch. So I don't really know how fast it is. So we're going to have to test the speed with it, with the third axle and all that. So, and I'm thinking maybe I will put that on, although I know this is a crawler, but I'm thinking I'm going to put that on my top speed channel. So, because all my speed stuff, I do put it on that channel no matter what it is, cars, boats, planes, crawlers, or whatever. The speed content goes on that channel, goes on the top speed channel. So, be looking out for that video on the top speed on this crawler. Hopefully we'll get this out and test it out and see how these shocks perform without the springs. The front shocks, they have springs inside the tube, so they are inner spring shocks, and they are oil filled as well. And so yeah, man, sometimes bright ideas you have just do not work out the way you see it in your head. So, and those taller shocks, they were like I said, they was 120 millimeter shocks, and they were, man, they was nice shot. They were the same shocks as these, same color and everything, just way taller. And yeah, they just didn't work out. So I'm gonna find something else to do with those shocks. They just sitting around right now. And another issue really was because when I built this truck, this axle here, I did not have a way to reverse the diff inside it. Like, it only goes one way. So because of that, it only goes one way, I had to flip the axle upside down. And I don't know if y'all know what I mean, but yeah, this axle is upside down. That way, this axle is not fighting the other axles, so they're all going in the same direction now. So, and when I did that, that made this axle, the shaft that comes out of this axle, face downward. And so that's what gives this drive shaft this angle going down. And so that's my issue. You know, that's what's causing the issue. If I was able to install this axle upright, then we wouldn't have no issue. This axle will actually be flush. I mean, just straight. It will be straight. And so by me having this issue with the angle going down and then going back up to the last axle there. That's the issue. So right now we don't worry about it. It's not coming disconnected anymore. It has room to turn and not bind up. So yeah, so it's working. I mean, we put this together with a lot of just spare parts we had around. So, and the only thing we ended up buying was this axle. This axle we bought. We had to buy this axle to be able to run 3 axles, and the shaft. We had to have this shaft. So, and we already had 4 of the wheels, and so I ended up having to buy. I bought another set of 4 wheels just to use 2 of them, and so I got I guess 2 spare wheels if I need to use them down the line. But yeah, this thing, I love it, man. Like I said, I don't really got too many videos with it, and so I am from the start shooting videos with it, whether I'm doing recovery jobs with it or just going out and trailing with it. Got the F250 body with it, and I gotta put the steps on here. I got some steps I'm gonna attach to here to come down, and so that's what I got them. I just haven't finished them. I already got them cut up and everything. I just need to paint them. I think I'm going to paint them black for the steps to come down. And then I'm thinking about putting more lights. I have lights up under here. I have these lights here. As you can see, these LED lights. And so what I end up doing when I did this body, I left the headlight area unpainted. And so I got the stickers, the light stickers over the body, and so the light actually comes through those stickers. Not as bright as you would like, but they come through. You can tell I have lights, but I'm thinking about adding more lights. I'm either gonna maybe add some pod lights here. You know, I have the emergency lights here on the back, and I'm also gonna add some tail lights coming out of the back here. So it's not it's not safe to not have any tail lights. You know, you don't want nobody running into the back of you at night. So hey, we gotta put some tail lights, some running tail lights on the back of them. We're gonna put them through these holes here. Perfect spot for them. We're gonna put them through those holes that's already there. Yep, we're gonna put them in there, and we're gonna run it down through here. So got the strobe lights, got the headlights. Thought about also putting rock lights or underbody lights, or should I say frame, because I don't have a body going back down this way. But I thought about putting some under the frame lights up under here as well. But we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I got a lot of things I want to do. I do have a second recovery truck, and that's the original recovery truck. Well, the body is the original recovery truck. This is the original this is the original recovery truck, but it was just 4-wheel drive with a different body, and it didn't have all this contraption. So, but I decided to modify this and make it a bigger, badder recovery truck. And so now let me pull out the second recovery truck so you can all see, and I can tell you about that as well, since I'm on the recovery trucks. Alright guys, so this is the second recovery truck. And so again, like I said, this is the original body, and yeah, this is the original body that came off of this one when it was 4-wheel drive. And so I decided to change it up when I made it 6-wheel drive. Plus, this body wouldn't fit on there, not like I wanted to anyway. I would have had a lot more room for other stuff. But anyway, this crawler is a Remo hobby crawler, the real cheap crawler. And this body actually fit perfect on here. Has the original winch that I put on here. Got the toolbox here. Got the jack. Got the fuel tank there. Did add the hooks and the LED light in the front. And this just comes up. This comes up, but want you to see this. This is, like I said, just a cheap Remo Hobby short wheelbase crawler. It has a 390 brush motor, and this speed controller, I installed it because the Remo Hobby had a 2-in-1 controller. So I think this one right here came off of a, I want to say it's a it came off of either a, man, I can't remember what it came off of, but it does the job. Yeah, this is a Dynamite. Yeah, this is a Dynamite ESC, but I just can't remember what it came off of. But it works perfect for this application here. And I got a hot RC radio receiver combination. And those radios are pretty cheap, man, real cheap. I think I got that radio, and I think I got it for 16 bucks. And when I say it's a good radio, man, it has 7 channels on it, and it has decent range. Not saying it might be, I'm not gonna say it's the best for a speed run vehicle. I mean, I can't say it ain't, but I wouldn't, you know, I haven't tried that. But for this crawler application, it's perfect. With, if you need more than, you know, 3 or 4 channels, that thing has 7 channels. I'm running the winch off of it. I'm running the lights. I haven't added anything else to it yet, but I do have the rear lights, and I do have these front headlights. And so, yeah, 2 recovery trucks for the channel. Just haven't seen them in action. You will be seeing them in action soon. Alright guys, y'all be safe, and I'll see y'all on the next video. God bless.
Thank you for the moments, thank you for the time, for the love you give and the mountains we